Good morning. Our hand today is going to be pocket nines. We are five-handed at this 25 NL game. We have a tight player. Open raises 2.8 big blinds, and it folds to me. This player is playing 15-13 with 5% three bet, 5% calling range. You can see this is going to be his first hand that he's played in early position. His raise first in stat, I think he's probably raising first in more than limping first in. He hasn't limped at all, so if he's going to play, he's coming in for a raise. I do see his cutoff's 33%, buttons 14%, so it drops off. I just think this is small sample sizes. It happens, but I think this is a little unusual. So I kind of think he's going to be tighter than expected. So this is like an 11% open raising range. This could be a little too tight for an early position player, especially since he's under the gun. Yeah, we're five-handed. We are five-handed, so he might loosen it up, but still he's under the gun. I'm going to go with this range. On me, I go against, I think we've got our decision. Should we do early position tight or just regular early position? I'm going early position because he's not like an overly tight player. I think this range is for those players that are tighter than usual. So like the 15-3, that's kind of like my stats. I think it's a pretty solid range. I'm looking at the guy that's playing like 10% or less. Normally I've got them keyed in, color coded to red because they're going to be a very tight player. So I'm looking at three better call. I don't think we really want to raise here. So, our standard three bet, and then we've got the three bet call. We could. I mean, he's folded 100% of the times, but this is his first time playing an early position. Nines aren't too bad. I think we can get a lot of information on the flop based on what he does, how he responds to either a bet or a call. And we're always looking for ways to flop big and take down stacks. So like if we catch it, if it comes like ace nine rag, I kind of assume I'm going to be taking a stack at that point. So we could always three bet. I think our three betting range could include the nines, and it'd probably fold them out. So we do have call to two bets stat, call two bet from blinds range, ace two off. So let's see what happens. I do call, and both blinds fold, and we see a flop of queen 6-4. So this is not too bad. I never really like seeing a hand with a queen because I think queen fits a lot of ranges. It's just kind of like in the middle, with the queens. Here's our queens. King's kind of the same way. Ace, king, queen are just the cards that I don't like to see in these situations. But I'd rather see a king or a queen than the ace, because if it's the ace and he checks, he could be checking just to catch me, because he could have ace king. Or he has kings and queens and maybe gets stubborn and calls down. So let's see what he does. Villain bets. He bets small. And that's unusual. I think we're going to... So is that maybe like a third? That's like a third pot. He's betting... Let's give him top pair plus. So C betting stats pretty high. I mean, just 1 out of 2 and then 2 out of 2. So I think we're just going to give him all. I don't think he should really be betting, pocket pair below the top card, but I think you could use some of those along with like ace queen as like a check call or even check raise. But check raise I don't think really apply matches here because you don't have a whole lot of draws. So would he do it with all of his hands? I'm going to say he's c-betting with all of those, and we'll leave some junk out. So that's a C betting range. We've got nines. I don't think we can necessarily fold just yet. I think our opportunities to win are if he checks the turn, then I think we could bet the turn, especially if the turn's a low card, because I do think we could have king, queen, queen, jack, maybe queen 10. Obviously, I think the better card is to have like a 10 or 9 show up. Nine's not, well, yeah, I'd say nine's not terrible, because if I didn't have a 9 and a 9 showed up and he checked, we could bet. What would he put me on? I think he could put me on a queen. Might actually hope that I have jack 10 for some reason. So maybe nine's decent. But anyways, we have his range. Let's go to our range. What are we calling with this with? I think here we're going to make some... I don't think we have enough bluffs in our range to execute a raise. We raise with a set. I think we call with an overpair, and we call with top pair. And then I think we raise, maybe with pocket pair below the top card, and middle pair. I think we just call with a gut shot. I don't think we call with all of our 2 card. Two card backdoor flush draws. I don't think we call with all of them. 7-8, that's obviously a gut shot. Oops. 9-8. I think we got those. Okay. We've got those. I think that's like overcards. And we do. We've got, I don't think all of these pocket pair belows are all bluffs. We're uneven. You can see 28-6. I don't think that that's the case. I think like 7s, 8s, probably 9s. Could be all of them are all kind of like our bluffs. So, you know, when you look at these, we're kind of betting for protection. We don't want to see an overcard come, you know, another Broadway card come, because if villain has, you know, ace king or ace jack or king jack, we don't want to see one of those cards come and now catch a pair to beat us. But I think we're playing aggressively, so the sets kind of protect a lot of these other hands that we have, and we still have some draws. So I'm gonna guess I probably just I've raised. Okay, that's good. And then he calls, so we're gonna go with the raises. Oops. We're taking out the queens and the pairs. We weren't raising those. Okay. Yeah, it was. We had those, and then I'm trying to think. Did we say 5s, pocket 5s? I think so, because pocket 5s has backdoor potential as well, 3s and 7s. So we could pick up a card that allows us to bet again on the turn. Now he checks and now he calls. I think a lot of players will probably call with their range here and then fold to a turn bet. especially his range right here. So we're going to keep that entire range. Ace of clubs comes, and I think that's actually terrible. So I had all of those ace X hands that he played: ace king, ace jack, ace 10. That's just gonna connect. If he has king jack, he now has a gut shot. I don't think he's gonna be folding. So he checks. I think he's checking with 100% of our range, and now this is just awful. So yeah, I would continue betting the set. And I think I would probably continue betting 2-pair. And top pair, probably ace king, but not ace jack, ace 10. I think if we bet ace king and get raised, I think we're going to probably have to fold. And the gut shot, so we already bet. I think maybe we bet our gut shots. We still go with the gut shot because we're balancing against the sets and 2 pairs. And we would be about half and half value. So let's X those out just so we don't have them. I think this was just a bad turn card. 8 of clubs hits. He checks. Question is, if we bet, so at this point he checks. So I think his set and 2 pair are out. I kind of think also his top pair, I kind of feel like a top pair would bet. But we can always just say, well, 50% of the time he would bet. And then all the other times he's looking at something like that. So I think that's probably his range. When it comes to us, we would have connected with an 8. We bet the 8. I think we bet some top pair, go for some value. Question is, what does he call with? He's going to call with top pair, and he probably calls with kings and queens. I don't think he's going to call with jacks. So if his lowest one is a queen, let's see what his... So he's at 69%, and then he goes to 37%. So he's folding 40%, a little more than 40% of the time. We're betting top pair. I think we're going to be betting some kings for value. I think middle pairs are going to be checks. I actually think kings are going to probably be a check too. I think we've got some value with the kings, value with the queens. Pocket pair less than the second card. I think we've got some value there. I think we're going to be targeting these low cards, and I'm really kind of thinking it's like 2s and 3s and 5s maybe. We don't really have much. I think we've got too many bluffs here. Yeah, maybe we just pick out, maybe 5s, pocket 5s. Or we go this 10-9. That's probably even better, 10-9, because we do have some value with a pocket pair. Like his king jack's gonna miss. He's not gonna call with king. He's not calling a bet with king jack. He's not gonna call a bet with jack 10. I think he's got a pair. I think he's gonna be heavy on the pair. So we bet for value. Top pair plus. We bet as a bluff with just that 7-6. you know, about a third, and then we check behind and go for some showdown. So we did check behind. I like that. I think that's what we need to do, and he shows queen 10. Did he have that in the range? Yeah, I do. I've got queen 10. So would he have folded had I bet the turn? Maybe. But I think the turn card's just like really bad for him, or for us. So on this card, yeah, he's checking 100%, and then if we bet, what was it, 40%? He calls top pair plus. He might not believe us. So kings, queens. So it's one of these. We call it the gut shot. Yeah, probably. So that's 71%. So we're looking at 39%, folding 39%, or never folding. And it's just, how does he play those hands, these types of hands? So could we have won this pot? Maybe, with a bet on the turn. We already raised it. We're representing the queen, but he has a queen in his hand, so he's going to say, well, it's less likely that you have a queen. So I'm going to call, and then the ace comes out, and then it's just, well, was I betting with a queen or with an ace? Why would I have raised with ace king or ace jack or king jack or something like that? You know, maybe he gives me credit for kings, maybe he gives me credit for aces, but now with aces, an ace comes out, less likely that I have one. I gave up my bluff on my nines because I had some value with this. I think we're still continuing with top pair. I think we are still, you know, we don't have a huge number. We've got gut shots. We could, and we were going to be betting those, and maybe we need to bet some of these no mate hands, but I think with our middle pair with the nines, we do have some value. I'm curious what GTO would say, but I don't think I have time to look at it now. So hopefully you enjoyed the sand. We're going to go ahead and take some notes on it and get this posted. So if you enjoyed this, look tomorrow for another.